Welcome to the United Cast. It's Entertainment Talks podcast for Man United and football. I'm your host Matthew, and today I'm going to be talking about Manchester United's 3-2 win away in the Premier League against Sheffield United. Where do I want to start with this today? We've really got a situation of some very good attacking situations against some very, very poor defensive displays again today. Let's start off with the general performance. I thought we were good at certain parts in this game and very, very average at certain parts in this game. Overall, this feels like a sort of we got the win type of performance. And when you look at Sheffield United, who have, I think, prior to this game, only let in 5 goals. Only scored 5 goals. Only let in 5 goals? They've only scored 5 goals so far in the Premier League. Now they've scored 7. And 2 of them are against us. And we go on to win the game. We score 3 goals. We play well in an attack and all that usual sort of thing. We've got the attacking side to do really, really well. But our defence scares me. Not in like a genuinely I'm scared way, but in a football sense, you know. Because whenever, I don't care what the team is, we could be playing against Bromley for all I know. Maybe Bromley are a good team, I don't know. But we could be playing against a non-league team and have their attack run towards our defence. I get nervous every single time it happens because I just don't know what's going to happen. And I know I pick on Lindelof and Maguire every week, or twice a week basically, because we play twice a week. I just don't understand. I just can't bring myself to understand how Ollie can look at that team sheet every week and go, yes, I'm picking Lindelof and Maguire again. Make mistakes? Yes, I'm picking Lindelof and Maguire again. And I know that they played better against Man City than what they have done recently, but Man City didn't really try because neither Manchester United or Man City really tried in the previous game. It was a bit of a weird one, as I discussed in the podcast. But Ollie continues to do this thing where he plays 4-2-3-1 and has 2 players sitting in front of the back 4. And I mean, if you're just continuing to have 2 holding players in front of your back 4, it means that you're telling us that the 2 centre backs, which have the 2 holding players sitting in front of them, aren't good enough. So why don't you just drop these 2 players? I don't understand. My other question, right? Let me just ask a different question for once, because I've always asked, why doesn't he drop Lindelof and Maguire? Because they're not good enough and continue to make mistakes, and the vicious cycle of Ollie continuing to play them and Ollie continuing to be in charge keeps happening. Alright? Here's a different question that I want to propose. Instead of me going over the same thing again because we're making the same mistakes again, so I'm asking the same questions again because they haven't been answered. Let me ask a different question. Instead of what did Maguire do to get the captaincy, why is he the captain? What was it in Ollie's head that went, okay, I'm going to drop the captaincy from De Gea, who didn't play in this game, by the way. We'll talk about that in a minute and the whole goalkeeper thing. What was it about Maguire that he went, yes, he's my captain? I know it's something I come to every episode, not even every week, because I do these obviously twice a week, because there's 2 games per week. And I look at Lindelof and Maguire every week, because they are the 2 biggest, not mistakes, that's not the right word to use. They're the 2 biggest players that cause mistakes in the team. That's a better way to put it. But he continues to just stick with them every single week. Is there something wrong with Bailey and Tuanzebe that I don't know about? Obviously, Phil Jones is just out of the question to begin with. Let's just forget that Phil Jones is a Man United player for a minute, right? The 2 other centre-backs in the team, Bailey and Tuanzebe. Let me just check the bench. Wow, he didn't have any centre-backs on the bench in this game. He had Luke Shaw on the bench and that was it. Is there something wrong with those 2 players that you don't want to pick them? And, I mean, we could go further in depth on, like, okay, Donny van de Beek, and you haven't picked him again, and you bring him on, and you don't value him. But with the two centre backs, is there something wrong with them that we don't know about? Is there something that they've done that we don't know about? Is there what is the reason that he's going with the same two centre backs every week? They make almost the same mistakes every week, twice a week, not just every week, but twice a week, and you just keep doing it again and again and again. It's like the same. There's two phrases I can actually attach to this, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's a common sort of phrase or whatever. The second phrase I can use is it's like going back to a bad ex, girlfriend or boyfriend again and again and expecting them to be better and they're not better. They costed us again in this game because of the whole Henderson, Lindelof, Maguire. It was the three of them. To me, for that first goal, it was really the three of them that made the mistakes. You know, they're mucking about at the back. I don't know what they're doing. Lindelof basically passes it to, I think it's Henderson, then he passes it to Maguire, then he passes it back to the goalkeeper. Why are they passing it between the three of them at the back? What are they doing at the back? Just clear the ball. When you know that the attacker's near you, which they were because they got the ball off of Henderson. Now, I would put it ultimately down to Henderson's mistake for the first goal because he is the one that actually loses the ball. But like Lindelof, Maguire, and Henderson are all looking at each other and like, oh no, you take the ball. Oh no, you take the ball. Oh no, you take it. Oh, I've lost the ball. Oh, they scored. What is going on with that? I mean, like seriously, Lindelof gets the ball first, he should clear it. Passes it to Henderson, he should clear it. Passes it to Maguire, he should clear it. Passes it back to Henderson, he should clear it. How many times have I just said he should clear it? 4, 5 maybe? You know, Lindelof gets the ball, so he should clear it, that's 1. To Henderson, he should clear it, that's 2. To Maguire, he should clear it, that's 3. Back to Henderson, he should clear it, that's 4. Why are none of them 3 players just booting the ball away? It's sort of like, oh, I don't want the ball, I'll pass it to you. Oh, I'm not going to clear it, I'll pass it to you, you do it instead. Oh no, I'm not going to clear it, you pass it to the ball. And as this is happening, the Sheffield United defence is going, hang on, not defence, sorry. Attack is going, hang on a second, they're just passing it about at the back for whatever reason. Let's close in on the attack, let's press a bit higher up the pitch. Oh, we've won the ball, let's just score. 1-0 to Sheffield United. What is that? I mean, if we, I was talking to a friend just a minute ago about how I watched the Tottenham Liverpool game yesterday. Liverpool are a very well drilled team. Tottenham are a very good team. We've already seen this season what Tottenham can do against us when we've got a poor defence, and it resulted in a 6-1 hammering and an embarrassment. Liverpool are pretty much as well drilled as Tottenham. You know, they're on pretty equal ground. It was a 2-1 win. They scored in the last minute, whatever. I can just see Liverpool doing the same thing against us. When we go to play them in the new year. I can't remember what the date is, but it's some point in January that we play Liverpool. If we're doing this against Sheffield United, passing it around at the back like, like a hot potato situation. Like, oh, I don't want the ball, you take it. Oh, I don't want it, you take it. Oh, I don't want it, you take it. Oh, I've lost the ball. Oh, they've scored. You're playing in a Premier League match for Manchester United and you're doing hot potato in the defence. I can't. It's just, I mean, we'll get into some positivity in a minute with the 3 goals and how the attack played pretty well today. But no wonder we're out the Champions League. No wonder we're out the Champions League. We had the group of death that they called it. You know, we had Istanbul, PSG, and Leipzig, and we started off pretty well. We beat PSG and all that, and then it just completely fell apart because of the defence. How can Ollie? Let's move it back to the manager for a second, because I know I've talked about the defence for a good minute or a good couple of minutes here. How can you continue to see that every week and be like, no, I'm going to pick the same players. I'm just going to pick the same players over and over and over and over and over again. And like, I mean, is Twanzebe injured? Is Bailey injured? Is there something wrong with them? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. How you could continue to look at that for so long. for so long and just continue to play those two same centre-backs every single match. And like I said, I know that they were better against Man City because Man City didn't really... nobody really did anything in that game. It really baffles me. I can't believe it. And, you know, I mean, ultimately, why is Henderson playing? De Gea should have been playing, because maybe he wouldn't have done that. I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't have. Lindelof and Maguire is still playing. Ollie's still the manager. Ollie still picks those two same centre-backs. And I know that I've been talking for 11 minutes, but it's such a huge problem. It's gotten us knocked out of a competition this year in the Champions League. Now we're in the Europa League, and you know we play Liverpool next month. So good luck to those two centre-backs, because I don't know. And I'm going to get off the topic of that. Let's talk about the couple of goals. Rashford, really, really good tonight. Did miss a couple of chances, but could put away a couple of chances as well. I thought he was great. I thought the goals were pretty good. You know, the first one takes the ball down pretty well, scores a good goal. Good stuff from Rashford. Martial, a little bit of luck on the goal. I'm not going to put it against him. You know, every now and then you need a little bit of luck. Good finish ultimately from Rashford. So that was that. What was the third goal? Another one from Rashford, wasn't it? That was another good goal as well. And then, yeah, again, just mistakes from corners. Again, we're so bad at defending from corners. I know I've just gone about on our defence for about 10 minutes, but yeah, it's both in open play and from corners. And I don't mean to go back to Lindelof and Maguire again, but they're both next to that player. Neither of them heads the ball away, and the ball goes in the back of the net. And this is against Sheffield United. It's just appalling. So yeah, but like I said, good goals from Rashford and Martial. Really, really like what they did today. I thought that a lot of our attack was really good. When we got going in this game, we're actually really good and really positive to sort of look at, but when I look at the bigger picture of this whole game, we shouldn't be playing like this against Sheffield United. I've set my expectations a bit lower. Not my expectations of what Manchester United should achieve. I think that we should be winning titles and competing, because that's ultimately what Manchester United should be doing. But looking at how we've been performing lately, I sort of went into this match and thought that, okay, this is Sheffield United. You know, I know that we struggled against West Brom and we beat them 1-0 through a penalty, but this is a team that hasn't won a game all season. They haven't won a game yet. They've scored 5 goals in 12 games. My expectations were sort of, maybe 4-0. Let's just set the table at 4-0 for an expectation. We scored 3, we're letting 2. It's ultimately not good enough for a performance. Yes, it's good that we won. Yes, we got the 3 points. Yes, I'm happy about that. But again, it's papering over the cracks of not necessarily a poor performance, but parts of our performance that were poor, notably the defence. And I'm looking at that Liverpool game now. Now that I saw that game last night against Tottenham, and I know how good Tottenham are, and Kane and Son, and they're all really good and whatever. And Tottenham are a very good team, and it was level on points with them two at the top of the table. I watched that game yesterday. I saw 2 really good football teams playing against each other. We've already seen what Tottenham can do. 6-1, embarrassment, terrible. And now I'm just, we got Leeds on Sunday, and we got some other games between now and Liverpool. Cool, I'll look forward to them, whatever. I'm looking at that Liverpool game now. You've got to sort this defence out. Otherwise, I think Liverpool are going to do the same as what Tottenham did to us, because I can't think of a reason at the moment as to why they wouldn't. So, yeah. But I think I've talked plenty about the performance. Let's get into some housekeeping and some player ratings. We'll see if that in a minute. Hi there, and thanks very much for listening. Today I'm here to tell you about our 2 different affiliate links. The first of which is our Amazon affiliate link. That's where you can shop on Amazon. We can get a small cut of what you spend, but it won't cost you anything extra. So whether you're getting a gift for somebody else or treating yourself, or maybe both depending on the occasion, we can get a small cut of what you spend, but it won't cost you extra. You can find the link to our Amazon affiliate link in your show notes. The second affiliate link for today is our Kualu affiliate link. If you want to get started with a website and a domain name of your choice, you can simply sign up with Kualu using the link in the show notes. They also have a live chat support system that's in the bottom right hand corner as well. So if you need help with getting set up, Kualu will be able to help you with that as well. The links for both of these can be found in your show notes for Kualu and the Amazon affiliate link. If you would like to get the ad-free versions of Entertainment Talks podcast and support us along the way, you can simply sign up over on our Patreon page. You can sign up either as a creator or as a patron. There's no difference there for the time being. And you can get your ad-free podcasts over there. It's a great way to support us on Entertainment Talk and to get rid of the ads and get your ad-free podcasts. You can also support Entertainment Talk on Patreon at the $3 level tier. This gets you a chance to request a review from us of your favourite TV show or film, but it's one per month, so one TV show or film review per month. It's up to you which one you want to choose. We will watch a few episodes of the TV show that you choose, or of course if it's a film, we'll just watch that film and we will review that for you on that month. And then when it gets to the next month, you can request a new TV show or a film review of your choice. That's $3 level tier. That does also of course include your ad-free podcasts for the month as well. Thank you very much for listening and enjoy the rest of the show. Alright, recently on Entertainment Talk, let me just scroll down the website, hang with me here for a moment. Analysing Television Episode 5, talking about the future of BBC, Star, FX and Hulu. They're all tied together in this sort of BBC FX deal, and Star is coming out, that's going to have Hulu shows on it, and it could have FX shows on it. There's a deal in place with BBC and FX. That runs out or could run out in October of 2021. What does that mean? So sort of discussing all the future of all that, and BBC's pretty poor job of advertising the FX shows and sort of going into all that. So lots to discuss there in terms of the 4 different channels and streaming services. So I talked about all that on Analysing Television Episode 5. Walking Dead UK episode. We had a special episode this week, something really, really positive. I received a letter and a gift from the set of The Walking Dead. Somebody that works on the show, on The Walking Dead World Beyond, got in touch about the podcast. They'd been listening to the episodes, which is just crazy. I still can't really fathom the idea that happened. And somebody that works on the set sent me a letter, said they really enjoyed the podcast. They sent me a couple of bits and pieces, some photos and some other bits and pieces. And me and David thought it would be a good way to end the year of coverage on The Walking Dead, and just talk about the whole experience. So that was really, really good and really positive as well. So we talked about all of that. So if you want to hear more about that, we talked about that as well. No particular spoilers for The Walking Dead. So if you want to listen to what that's about and the experience and everything else, we talked about that on the Walking Dead UK podcast. Did a podcast with Gray talking about the Undoing series finale, a full spoiler podcast talking about the results of what happened at the end of the series. It is labelled as a mini-series and it does have an ending. So me and Gray is of course from Geektown as well. We talked in depth about our disappointment / confusion about the HBO series The Undoing and the series finale. It's available on Skylantic in the UK if you want to go and watch The Undoing. We'd still recommend the show. We're just a little bit disappointed and confused about the ending of the show itself. Let's Play Sunday's episode for Crash Bandicoot 4, United Cast 0-0 with Man City, discovering Star Trek Season 3 Episode 9. I'll be covering Season 3 Episode 10 tomorrow, so look out for that. But Star Trek Discovery is still continuing. Did a podcast talking about the Spider-Man 3 casting news, because there's been a whole bunch of it lately. Some rumours and some confirmed. So I talked about the good and the bad of what could come out of that film. That's the 2021 version of the Spider-Man 3, the MCU film. So I talked about that. Gaming talk last week. We talked about Neil Druckmann being promoted from Naughty Dog. BioWare losing a couple of their staff because they left. And some discussion on Cyberpunk 2077 and the reviews for the game as well. We will be returning on Sunday for another gaming talk where we'll be discussing the Game Awards and a whole bunch of other stuff, our Cyberpunk impressions, because we've both played the game now, so look out for all that as well. But that's what we've been doing on entertainmenttalk.org and on podcast platforms. Let's get into the player ratings. Dean Henderson, I'm giving you a 4. Terrible mistake at the back that ultimately cost us the goal. Had a relatively good game apart from that, but when you make a mistake like that, you've got to get penalised for it. So I'm going to give him a 4. Wan-Bissaka, what do I want to give Wan-Bissaka? Still doing that. They're still doing that thing, by the way, the defence. I forgot to mention that in the main part of the episode. There was 5 different times where I counted in this game where the ball was going down. It was always on the left-hand side of our defence this match. I noticed it. I counted as well. The attack was going down the right-hand side, so our left-hand side towards Telles. And Maguire, Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka all followed each other each time. It's such a big problem. So they're all guilty of it, apart from Telles because he's supposed to be on the left. But Maguire, Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka all following each other. If you haven't gathered by now, our defence has got some massive problems. And yeah, it's a huge problem. I'll give him a 5. I thought he was okay, made some mistakes, but nothing to... I don't know, he was fine in this game. He made some mistakes, but ultimately I didn't think he was awful. Lindelof, Maguire, I'm giving them a 3. I'm just completely fed up of seeing them being picked all the time. I don't know if a 3 seems harsh or whatever, but I'm giving them both the same score. Just mistakes again and again and again, and I'm sick of seeing it. I'm sick of seeing them be picked. They need to be dropped. Maguire needs to be stripped of the captaincy. I don't know how many times I've got to say it, but they keep both being chosen, and Maguire keeps being selected for the captain again and again and again, and it's causing so many problems. Like I said, is there some sort of problem with Bailey and Twanzebe? Did they do something wrong? Did they say something to Ollie that's not good? Are they injured and I don't know about them? I don't know about that. Neither of them are on the bench in this game. And I'm not saying that it's guaranteed that Bailey and Twanzebe are going to play better than Lindelof and Maguire, but when you've got 2 centre-backs that consistently mess up every single game, apart from the Man City game, you've got to drop them. And your only 2 alternatives is Bailey and Twanzebe. So just give them a go. Just give them a go. Just see, this is where the problems with Ollie come in. I know I've said about Lindelof and Maguire so many times. This is where the problems with Ollie comes in. Is he too afraid to drop them? Does he not want to drop them? Does he think that they're good enough? I don't really know. I don't know what the answer is there. But just I don't know. Is he too nervous to drop them? Is it because he gave the armband to Maguire and he's sort of nervous to drop him? Does he think that Lindelof and Maguire are actually good? There's so many questions, and we don't have any answers to any of those questions, so we just ultimately don't know. But they both get a 3, so I'm going to move on from them. Tellers, I'd give him a 5. He did make a fairly good tackle in this game at one point, but he played about as well as Wan-Bissaka does. I know I've said about our defence is a problem, and Tellers and Wan-Bissaka do make mistakes at different points, but not as bad as what I've noticed as what Lindelof and Maguire do. I tell you what, if you're taking shots every time I say Lindelof and Maguire, you probably won't make it to the end of the podcast. So please don't do that, because I'd like you to stay till the end. But yeah, I'd give Tellers a 5 as well. And Matic, I thought he was good. I'll give him an average 6. I thought he was fairly good in this game. He's just not really quite got the legs anymore. We do need a long-term replacement. I don't know if that's Fred or if that's McTominay or who it's supposed to be or what's going to happen there. He does have I think it's 3-year extension, is it, to his contract to 2023, if I'm remembering that correctly. He did get a contract extension. I'm just trying to think of how long it was, to about 2023. But he's good at what he does, shielding the back 4. I just feel sorry that he has to do that, to be honest. So yeah, Pogba had one of his better games for Manchester United today. I thought he was good. I'm going to give him... You know what, I'll give him a 9 for his attacking, not for his defence, but for his attacking. I thought he had one of his better games today. Lots of little tricks that actually worked pretty well. Lots of forward passes. I still want him to leave the club because ultimately I feel like that's the best way forward for Manchester United, is for him to leave the club, Raiola to no longer be involved with this club again, and that kind of thing. But I'd give him a 9. I thought he was really, really good today. He had a lot of good passes today, a lot of good possession. He didn't do that thing that I've been mentioning recently, which is like bricks in his boots kind of movement. He moved very fluidly today, which I think is very good. Sometimes he just has this tendency to get stuck on the ball, and he didn't really do that today. So I'm going to give him a 9. I thought he was better. Greenwood, I'm going to give him either a 6 or a 7. A 6.5 feels a bit low. Greenwood had some good intentions today. Here's the thing with Greenwood, right? He's not a right winger. We haven't really got a proper right winger in this whole squad, apart from Pellistri and Lingard. Pellistri is not in the first team for some reason, and Lingard's not good enough. Because he's been here his whole career, and he's never really been good enough. I really, really, really want to see not Lingard, Greenwood play in the number 9 slot where Martial was today. I really, really want to see it so much, and he's just not doing it. Because I feel like that will be Greenwood's best position, and I feel like that's where we'll get the best out of him. Because if you look at him today and you look at him recently, he is in a good way, I mean this in a good way, he's a greedy striker. Now, I want our strikers to be greedy and look for that shot, look for that goal opportunity, but that's not really what a right winger is supposed to do. He doesn't really look for that opportunity to cross it in necessarily. Now, I do like his intentions in terms of like trying to cross in and trying to get that shot off. That's good. That's really, really good. But you don't really do that if you're a right winger, and Ollie's chosen him to play that. That's not his fault. So, you know what? I'm going to give him a 7. I thought he had some good intentions today. But if you're playing out of position and you're not playing as the right winger when you're not really a right winger, then that's not really kind of your fault. So again, like I said, with some of these players, it's down to Ollie continuing to pick them or putting them in the wrong position or whatever the case may be. I feel like that's down to Ollie. So Bruno, I thought Bruno had a good game, a couple of good passes, did give the ball away a fair bit, but does try those ambitious passes. I'm going to give him... He didn't get any assists today, did he? I don't think. I'll give him a 7.5. I feel like he deserves a bit more than a 7, but not quite an 8. I thought it was pretty good today, but not quite that sort of... I don't know, I'll give him a 7.5. So my man of the match, I'm going to give him a 9 as well. I know it's the same rating as Pogba. Rashford, I thought he was really, really good today. Not quite as clinical as what he could have been. There was 2 chances that he missed that he should have probably scored, but he looked really, really sharp today. Scored 2 really good goals and just looked really good today, and I thought he was our best player. Rashford, I'm going to give him a 9. My man of the match. Martial. Martial's a tricky one. Martial is a tricky one. What do I give him? I give him an 8. I thought it was good. Scored a good goal today. Did contribute fairly well to the team. Did get forward pretty well. But again, let's go back to Ollie. I don't think Martial's a number 9. I actually think, right, let's say you've got this team, this exact team that you've got here, right? Just swap Martial over with Greenwood. Just do that. Because although Martial's not a right winger, none of these players on the pitch are a right winger. Let's just get that straight, if you will. Put Greenwood at number 9 because I really think he'll do so much better there. He's a greedy striker, which is a good thing. And I feel like if he's in front of the goal more often than being on the right wing, he'll probably score even more goals. Martial's not an out-and-out number 9 like we're trying to make him. He's a winger. Or a centre forward, or like a forward. Put him on the right wing, which isn't quite his right position, but who else are we going to put on the right wing at the moment? Mata, who's 32, 33. Put Martial on the right wing, put Greenwood up front, and put Rashford on the left. I'm not saying it will definitely work, but I think it will work a little bit better. Because Martial isn't as clinical as Greenwood. Rashford can be clinical, but Greenwood can be really clinical. So just swap those two players around. That's all you'd need to do. And I'm not guaranteeing that it'll work better, but I think that it will, because that's what that's where I feel those two players should be playing. I think ultimately Martial's a left winger, but Rashford's already there, and we've got about 15 players that can play on the left wing. There's this talk at the moment about, like, should Donny van de Beek play on the right wing? I mean, he probably could play there, but is that where he'll play the best? Because ultimately, even though you've got a certain team to pick from, you've got to, as you're going through and deciding your team, and as you get to things like striker and left winger and right winger and your midfielders, you've got to figure out, okay, who have I got at the moment that's available, that's not injured or suspended, who's going to work in the best positions, and then you've got to go from there. And I just don't think Ollie's doing a good enough job at doing that. As I've said with Greenwood and Martial and with Lindelof and Maguire, there's just some mistakes being made there. And as I said, you take Lindelof and Maguire out, put Bailey and Tuanzebe in, switch Martial and Greenwood over, and I think that you've already got a better result there. That's all I'm trying to say. So that's my player ratings for the ones that played. Mata came on, didn't notice him too much. I didn't notice any of the subs too much, to be honest. I did see that Dan James came on. I don't remember him actually playing though. So I don't know what to make of Dan James. I didn't see him, so I can't really give him a rating. But I'm not going to give a rating to any of the subs, because I just didn't really see enough of them necessarily. But that's my thoughts on the game. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the positioning and, well, everything I've been speaking about for the last half an hour. Matthew at entertainmenttalk.org, Twitter eTalkUK, there's a contact page and information in your show notes. We play against Leeds on Sunday, 4:30 on Sky Sports. So I'll see you all on Sunday night for that at some point. And we'll see how we get on. I'm guessing that Lindelof and Maguire will play again. Martial will play up front again, unless Cavani is back. I think that Greenwood will play on the right wing again. I actually think we'll see this exact same team. Because Luke Shaw, I think, is injured or something at the moment. So we shall see. But I need to wrap this episode up. Thank you all very much for listening. You can find everything that we do on entertainmenttalk.org. TV, video games, films, and Manchester United podcasts as well. If you like what you've heard today and you want to support more of it, there's a few different options for you. Patreon, there's the $1 and $3 level tiers. Word of mouth, you can simply tell people that you know about the content that we make, either word of mouth or social media, so Facebook, Twitter, and different Facebook groups. The Geektown Awards are still going to be open for a couple of weeks. If you want to go and vote for your favourite TV shows, games, and films of 2020 and your most anticipated for 2021, go to geektown.co.uk/awards, go and vote in the different categories and put your name and email in. Press submit, and you'll be submitted into the prize draw as well. You've got until the 31st of December to do that, so make sure you get your votes in before the end of the year. And good luck to everybody who enters that particular thing. If you want your up-to-date, reliable TV and film news in general, geektown.co.uk and Geektown on podcast services for Geektown Radio on Tuesdays. There is a break at the moment for Geektown Radio. The last one of the year has been recorded and is available to be listened to, but David will be back at some point in January. I think it's January 4th or something like that, but early in January, look out for Geektown to return. Twitch, if you want to follow me and Bex on Twitch, Bex is on Tristabytes, Trista BYTES on Twitch. I'm on there as well, eTalkUK. If you search for that on Twitch, you can get followed to that as well. And lastly, look out for different video games and different Let's Play Sunday episodes for different video games on Sundays. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.